Okay. Yay. Back to school, baby. My kids went back to school on Monday, and so far, so good. They are freshmen in high school. I can't even believe it. How am I that old? Oh, gosh. All right. So the first, oh my. So the first piece of our little homework today, thanks for joining us, by the way, is that I will take all of your questions at the end of the webinar. So there's a little section in your little Zoom webinar kind of control thing that says questions and answers or Q&A. If you could type your questions in there, not in the chat, but in the Q&A section, I will go through all those questions and I will answer them in the order received at the end. So don't wait till the end. You can type them in any time. So if I'm going over a subject and you're like, okay, I don't understand that, or I need more information about that, or I have a question about that, just go ahead and type your question in. And at the end of the webinar, I will go over all the questions. The webinar is being recorded and I will send everyone the replay. So you will see that in lots of places. If you need to talk to us, contact me, contact one of our staff members. You can always go to our website, asnmarketingplan.com. There is a contact us, free SEO audit of your website. There's, right when you go to our website, you'll be able to see buttons that will take you to the contact us page and whatever. So you can do that. You can call us at 888-404-1513 and leave us a message, or you can email directly to our business development person, Bob Costello at bob@approvedseniornetwork.com. You can email him directly if you like. If you're a current client, please use support, but all others, you can go to our website or give us a buzz and we will get right back to you. All right, so this is our big webinar for the end of summer, our back to school webinar. And the reason that we're doing this today is because I think that we all had a rough year last year. Maybe not, some of us financially, some of us just like, the whole thing with our pandemic and all of that's just made us all a little bit crazy and opened our eyes to a lot of new things. So in that time, online marketing has become more and more important. It is not the number one most important thing in the senior care market that you can be doing. I'm going to go over that, but it is very, very important. So we're going to talk about how to actually get the most out of your online marketing today. I'm going to show you what we teach our clients, what we do for our clients, and what is working now for not only getting more home care clients or senior care clients, whatever industry you're in the senior market, but also hiring and recruiting. Hiring and recruiting is a huge issue. So obviously you guys know that better than I do. So we're going to talk about that. A little background about us. My name is Valerie Van Boeven. I'm a registered nurse. I'm an old nurse. I'm 200 years old in nurse years. I graduated from nursing school in 1992. And in 2008, I founded what was then called LTC Expert Publications. We are now rebranded as Approved Senior Network. And the arm of our marketing arm is Approved Senior Network Marketing. George Novison, who's also on the call, has been my business partner since 2009 or 10. And we have been business partners all these years. And the business has grown tremendously. And we're still going strong today and helping home care agencies, assisted living facilities, care homes, care managers, elder law attorneys, you name it, organizers, senior movers. We've probably touched on just about everyone in the senior market space over those years as far as online marketing. So if you're in that space, this is our focus. 90% of our clients are in home care, home health care, and hospice. And the other 10% make up assisted living, care homes, care management, and you name it, all kinds of other stuff. Comprehensive online marketing, all-inclusive suite of inbound marketing strategies for senior care businesses. That is our focus. Organized lead and recruiting acquisition. So We have a CRM. I'm not going to talk a whole lot about it, but I am going to mention it a few times. Anybody who comes into our fold and is a client of ours has access to a free CRM that is included with their program, and it is amazing. And it's to help with sales and marketing. It's not for client notes, things like that, but it is amazing for sales and marketing. And we use that, and it's also for recruiting. We use that ASNSPARK CRM for organizing, communicating with leads, referral sources, and potential employees. And for 13 plus years, our only market has been you, those of you who are on this call today, home health care, senior living, and other senior service businesses. So thank you for attending today. Thank you for watching if you're watching the replay. And I hope that you get a lot of great information out of this today. We recognize your challenges in the senior market because we have been in the senior market for all these years. We do not do marketing for roofers, plumbers, and painters. We are specifically senior care market. So we know you need more clients. We know you need to fill your pipeline with new prospective clients in your local area. And we know you need more staff. Finding and retaining qualified caregivers has been the most challenging it has ever been in the history of my business in helping you all. I've never seen it like this. I'm sure many of you haven't, and it is pretty crazy. So we like to help with that as well. Your target markets, of course, are seniors, but more likely the adult children of aging parents and the qualified caregivers with the right credentials in your area. Where do senior care leads come from in 2021? These numbers might be a little off, but they're pretty accurate. 5% of your leads are probably coming from purchase leads. 10% maybe coming from paid ads online, like Google ads, Facebook ads. 15%, maybe a little more, are coming from organic search. And that means they're just, people are finding you. They're typing in home care St. Louis, Missouri, and boom, you're number one on the top of the list. And 70% of your new business is probably coming from professional and consumer referrals. And we know that. But what we want to focus on, we want you to know that we understand that it is very important that you do offline marketing, that you are shaking hands, looking people in the eye, giving out your business card, engaging with your community, and doing all those things. And that's never going to change. That's always going to be important. This is a trust issue in senior care and in healthcare. But that 30% that's left over, a lot of people are leaving money on the table because they're not focusing in on what they can be doing online. You don't ever have to do paid ads if you don't want to, ever. But you can get a whole lot of leads out of your marketing online if you do it right. And it's a lot to learn. So folks just get a little bit overwhelmed by the whole thing. And that's why we're here, to help take away that overwhelm and to make online marketing so much easier and so much more effective than it's ever been for you in the past. So what are the successful senior care businesses doing today? This is what we see every day. Whoops. They build referral partners. They build a network of professional referral partners. They have an online presence. They have a superior online presence to their competition. So here's what I'm saying. If you want to beat the big boys at their game, then you have to put time and attention into your website and your other online marketing, just like the big boys. And that's hard to do when you have a business to run. So that's why we exist, to help you compete with the big franchises and the big players in the market who may seemingly rule the first page of Google in your local area. But what we know is that you can take a big chunk of that too. You just have to know the right strategy to get it done. Community outreach, intensive community outreach. You should be engaging with folks in the community. You should be attending, events, nonprofits. You should be doing the walk for Alzheimer's disease in the fall. You should be, going out, shaking hands, going to chamber meetings, Rotary Club, whatever it is you do, BNI, whatever. You have to keep doing that kind of stuff. Just relying on online marketing alone is not usually very successful at all for a home care agency. You have to get the word out. People have to know who you are. And then recruit and retain, recruiting and retaining quality caregivers. Recruiting is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, if you haven't noticed, and it never ends. It never stops. Recruiting is a 24/7 part of your business. If you're in the senior care market, you're always recruiting. If you are fully staffed, God bless you, because that is amazing. But just when you think everything's great, 2 people will quit. So 100% of the time, I always recommend people are always recruiting. Even at a low level, if you're fully staffed, you never know when that tide is going to turn. Okay, so let's talk about the role of online marketing. This is where we come in, and this is where we teach all of you how to get the most out of your online marketing. Whether you do it yourself or you hire someone else to do it, this is what you should expect, and this is what you should get from your online marketing. Whoop. Boy, I just barely touched this thing and it will change the slide. All right, so top level visibility. You need to be found everywhere online in your local area. You need to be found everywhere. I'm starting on the left-hand side, but actually at the top is on the right-hand side. Professional image. Your website and social media should represent you in a professional way, and it should be up to date. If your last blog post, if you've never blog post, that's a challenge. If your last Facebook post was 2019 or 2018 or 2016, that don't look so good. If your last blog post was in 2019, that doesn't look so good. So you have to keep up with this stuff. And if you can't keep up with it on your own, you can always outsource it. And it might not be us, it might be someone else, but you need to keep up a very present and very up-to-date set of marketing tools online. And when I say that your website and social media should represent you in a professional way, what I like to say is if your website was built in 2014 or 2012 by Cousin Eddie, it's time for an update because the technology is outdated on that website. It probably doesn't load very fast. It may not even be mobile responsive. There's all kinds of things that can happen there. Some people love their Wix website or their Squarespace website. That's a great place to start, but that is not, a homegrown website is not going to attract the kinds of clients that you really want. If you're looking for private pay clients for your organization, folks who have some income and some cash to spend on care, then your website needs to compete with the big boys. It needs to be just as nice looking. It needs to be functional. It should not have any flash on it. It should not have broken images. So a professional representation of you. And then we go over to top level visibility. That website should be visible to you everywhere. It should be visible to other people everywhere. There's lots that goes into that. You should be collaborating with referral partners. You need to stay top of mind with professionals and families in your local area. How are you doing that? Do you have a CRM that organizes all your contacts, sends out a monthly newsletter, sends out emails to your referral sources, has various emails that go out to potential leads from your community that have inquired about services and maybe not pulled the trigger? Do you have that set up? You should have that set up. You'll get way more revenue at the end of the year if you keep that organized. And you are the expert. So everything you put out there should be in your name or your staff, some staff member's name. You want to build awareness, trust, and build the business that you really wanted. And you should be seen as the expert. Your staff should be seen as the experts because you are. Once you hang that shingle out on your front door, and says Valerie's Home Care, I am suddenly the home care expert in my area. People don't know how long I've been doing home care. They just know that there's my name. If I have that license or if I have that name on my front door, then I'm probably the expert. So you are the expert. Organized, efficient follow-up. There's something I like to talk about called follow-up failure. And I think we all suffer from that to some degree. But what we do for our clients and what you should strive to do is eliminate follow-up failure. Every business card, every inquiry from your website, every phone call that comes in should be followed up with. And I know you're busy, but you're missing leads, you're missing revenue, you're missing new clients if you're not following up. So we have ways that you can organize that. All right, this is my favorite. In the middle of this picture, you see your website, the words your website. Your website should be the hub for everything. I think I've been saying this for 13 or 14 years now. Your website is your central marketing piece for online and for offline marketing. Your website is a 100% reflection of you. This is worth spending some money on. This is worth getting it right. This is worth having it done correctly, not cheap, not fly by night, not unorganized. It's worth doing well. This investment in your business is probably one of the top investments you will ever make, because besides your caregivers and your staff, because when you hand your business card to someone, they're going to look at your website. When you're referred by a social worker, that person's going to go look at your website. When you are talking about something on the phone with someone, you're going to probably give them your website. In your email signature, you probably have a link to your website. So everybody is going to look at your website. No matter how much they love you, they're going to go to your website. And if your website is super jank store, geek, I'm calling the next guy. It may not be fair. You may be the best home care agency in town, but if that's the case, make sure your website reflects that. So your website should be the hub for everything you do. It is your calling card, but it's way more than that. And your CRM. Do you know what a CRM is? A CRM is a customer relationship management tool. It's a software as a service. It's a place where you go to keep all your contacts. You keep, you could say anything could be a CRM, like Outlook could be your CRM, which is limited. It's just emailing. You could say Gmail is your CRM. Again, limited, just Gmail. You could say some people use HubSpot. Some people use ClearCare Online. Some people use whatever. We have our own CRM that's developed for sales and marketing and recruiting for home care agencies, senior services of any kind, assisted living, care homes, you name it, and we call it ASNSPARK. And it comes with any of our programs. So no matter what CRM you use, that CRM should be used to organize your contacts, organize your referral sources, and make sure messages are getting out to them on a regular basis without being irritating, without being spammy. But you should definitely make sure that your contacts are organized, your leads are organized. There's no reason for follow-up failure if you have a good CRM. All right, so around your website are all the things that can help you win the internet and win your online marketing. The very first thing on my list is content. And I'm going to show you the impact that content has to make you 100% visible in your local market. I'm going to show you 14 examples really fast because we don't have a lot of time today. I mean, we have an hour, but I could go on and on. So content, so important. That is the most important thing that you could contribute to your website and your social media that will help you. Paid ads. Paid ads are optional. Some people never do them in the history of their business, and that's okay. Some people do them kind of as at a low level, just to keep top of mind, just to have something out there. Some people are really into it. What I see is people doing this on their own and getting burned. So be very careful with paid ads. Make sure you're working with someone who can give you a realistic expectation as to how many leads you're going to get from Google Ads for the money you're willing to spend, and can give you that information clearly and not be guessing at it. So paid ads are important for some folks, not for everybody, but if they're important, that means that your CRM is even more important, because every time somebody hits that paid ad, that costs you money, and you want to make sure that the right messages are going out and the right people in your organization are being notified. You've a lead, you've a lead, you've a lead, and that person can follow up right away. Recruiting. You can't run a business if you don't have any staff. So recruiting is very important as well. Everybody should be recruiting all the time. And that's part and piece of this. If you can get all the clients you want, but if you have no caregivers, then you're gonna have to turn business away. And believe it or not, I'm sure some of you have already experienced this, that you cannot staff a case. And I'm sad that that's happening. And I hate it that that's happening, but it does happen. So recruiting is 100% all the time. It's a tough job. Google My Business. Surprisingly, a GMB is right here. Google My Business. We also call it GMB. Google My Business is really important. Some of us love Google, some of us can't stand Google, some of us have no opinion and we just roll our eyes and move on because it's all so complicated. Your Google My Business listing is one of the most important assets next to your website that you have. Your Google My Business listing is one of the most important online assets that you have besides your website. If you don't make good use of it, if you don't do it correctly, if you don't search engine optimize it, if it doesn't match what your website says, it will give you very little return on investment. It's a free listing, right? But done well, you can, and in combination with your website, it doesn't stand alone. It is counting on your website to also have good information. When you combine these two together and you make them work together, then you are very visible. And staying organized, that's my last part, my O in cargo. Staying organized, I've already talked about it. If you stay organized with all of these other things, use your CRM to your advantage, your website, your CRM all talk to each other, and they're talking to you and telling you important things are happening, then that will grow your business easily. Okay, so those are the things that are most important. This is what I see happening in the online space. So we're going to talk a little bit more about these just to define them a little better. So content, this is what content means. Content publishing, a blog posting, and having a monthly newsletter, lead follow-up, drip campaigns, your reputation, that's reviews, and your social media and SEO. This is all content related. Anything that is words on a site of some kind is content. Words, pictures, videos, all content, all good stuff. Ads, sales leads via paid advertising, Google, Facebook. Maybe you're buying leads from care.com, caring.com, a place for mom, wherever, assisting homes, whatever it is. They all run together. But if you're buying ads, that's paid advertising. Recruiting, automated caregiver recruiting. We're going to talk a little bit about recruiting in this webinar so you can get a feel for what automated caregiver recruiting is. You might love it. And then Google My Business. Google My Business optimization, local SEO, where you're located on the maps, where you're located in a mobile result. These things all matter. I'm going to give you a checklist that you can use. And every single action up here starts with your website. Your website has to be a website that converts visitors into potential leads. So it has to have conversion properties. It needs to have speed. Speed is huge. You have to have speed. Lead capture and content distribution and SEO. These are all really important. And remember, I see somebody typing in a question in the Q&A. Please type in your questions in the Q&A section. I will answer all the questions at the end. So Q&A section, go up there and type in your questions as I go. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have. Your CRM, whatever you use, should have marketing automation and lead management and communications, texting, emailing, tagging leads with the word lead so you know how many leads you have, where did they come from, how often have they been followed up with, who's following up with them. Your CRM should help you do that. Whatever it is you use, I don't care if it's ours or not, should be helping you with all of those things and with recruiting. All right, so here is a three-prong strategy that will get you more clients and more leads over time. I've talked about the importance of content and having that content automated. I've talked about the importance of Google My Business. I'm telling you, if you don't own or know what your Google My Business listing is, you must know today. Go find out who owns that listing. If you're a franchise, if you own a franchise or a franchisee, your parent company probably owns your Google My Business, but you should be a manager of it. So you should be able to make changes to it, but don't go crazy because Google will also suspend listings very easily. So be very careful with it, but do a great service to your Google My Business listing. Website, your senior care website, home care, home health care, care manager, care home, whatever website you have, should have enhanced SEO. I'm going to talk to you about what that means in just a minute because SEO has changed. SEO is dead. No, SEO is real. Search engine optimization is real and it has changed. And if you know the secrets about how it has changed and what Google's looking for, then you win. All right, so here's what you should look for in a senior care website. I want you to take a hard look at your website. If it's one that a franchisor developed for you, you don't have a lot of options here. And so this part might be a little boring to you, but it is something to think about for everyone because your website is the way people look at you, perceive you, whether it's fair or not. Professionally designed website is so important. Local advanced search engine optimization, we're going to talk about that in a minute. It should be mobile ready. You see this picture up in the top right-hand corner? This shows you what this website looks like in 4 different ways. Big giant screen, laptop, a tablet, and a phone. Your website should look that compelling and that nice or nicer on all of these options. If you've ever looked at your website on your phone and went, then you know it's time for a new website. It needs to be optimized for speed and fast load times. Google is interested in one thing right now. Well, it's interested in a million things, but the biggest thing that Google wants is that your website on a mobile device loads fast. Fast, I mean fast as lightning, fast as 1 second. So if you look at the bottom picture, you will see that the website in this picture, at the day I did this test, got a grade of an A. And if you look below that grade, you'll see that the entire website loaded in 1.4 seconds on a mobile device. That is fast, and that is what you're looking for. If it takes 4 seconds, 5 seconds, 6 seconds, 7 seconds, 11 seconds, which I've seen millions of times, then Google is going to say to you, sorry, we want people using Google to have a great user experience. If your website can't keep up with this website over here who's jamming on it and boom, they're loading in 1.4 seconds, we're going to show the 1.4 second guy way before we're going to show the 11-second guy because we don't want our users to get frustrated on their mobile device. So knowing your speed on desktop is important, but knowing your speed on mobile is very, very important. Mobile speed of your website. And then how does it look? So this is what you want to see, A's and B's for your mobile, for your mobile speed. So mobile speed, optimized speed, okay, monitored 24/7 with 99% uptime. Your website should be on a great hosting environment. If you're using cheap GoDaddy shared hosting, you've already lost because that server is not going to be fast. You're sharing that server with millions of other websites that aren't going to be fast. It is the beginner phase of web hosting. You need to be on a very fast hosting server that will help your website tremendously. I know we just moved all of our clients to the fastest hosting we could find. It's not cheap, but we know how important that is. And so at the beginning of this year, we spent 3 or 4 months making sure everybody was moved over. It is so important that you're on a fast server. ADA accessibility. Your website should be ADA compliant. Every single person who comes to your website has a disability of some kind, or they're at your website because of someone in their life who has a disability. ADA accessibility, there's a lot of scary stories out there about people getting sued and all this stuff. You just need to make sure that you have some ADA accessibility on your website. You don't have to go crazy. Every website we build has ADA accessibility built into it. It's just common for us. It's what we do. It is not It's not something that you have to pay extra for. Ranks high on major website performance reports. Yes, we do performance reports on our own websites to see how they're performing, and a full-time technical support team. So when you don't have anybody monitoring the back end of your website, it gets outdated, it gets broken, it gets, it can even, if you're not monitoring things, it can easily get, spam and hacked and all kinds of stuff. So you need to make sure that you have somebody keeping an eye on your website all the time, updating plugins, updating, all the things that go on behind the scenes. And your website should integrate with whatever CRM you're using. I don't care what that is, it should integrate with it. Blogs, you should be able to blog post, you should be able to create newsletters, have client referral forms, lead follow-up drip campaigns, you should be able to post to Facebook, you should have a reputation management system, and senior care chat. People ask us all the time if we can put a chat plug-in or a chat on their website, and we do. We have our own. It's built into the CRM that we offer to all of our clients, and therefore those leads go right into the CRM. They're organized, they get the right follow-up, and you are notified right away. So there's lots of those to choose from out in the marketplace. So make sure you have a good one if you're going to use it. Websites that close the client. If your website has clear calls to action, professional imagery, lead capture, and it's mobile responsive, you are in like Flynn. You're good. You're good. If you look at this website, this picture here, the one thing that's so important, and if your website doesn't do this, please ask your web developer to make that change. You see all I have to do is touch it. You see the phone number in purple in the top right-hand side of the big screen here? You see how the phone number, when you put it on a mobile device, is right in the middle at the top? You need to have a phone number that is clickable on a mobile device, front and center, all the time on your website, no matter what type of device somebody's looking at your website from. Your website is the hub for everything, and it should have the opportunity, or give the person the opportunity to contact you right now. 90% of leads are going to come through the phone. 10% of leads are going to come via a form that is being filled out on your website. So those two things are really all we care about on this website. It needs to look pretty, perform well, be fast, but the action I want you to take is either call me or fill out a form on my website. I don't care about anything else. You can look at it all day, but I want you to call me or fill out a form so that we can get that conversation started. And so those things need to be front and center on this website. Oop, where am I? Oop, I'm going the other way. Oh no. Okay, so let's talk about enhanced SEO. This is where the secret sauce comes in. And I'm going to tell you right now that most of your web developers probably aren't as well versed on home care enhanced SEO or senior care enhanced SEO, because it is a lot of work. It is a lot of work. I've been doing it for a long time now, and I can tell you that this is no small task. But if I want my client to rank on the first page of Google for any keyword phrase, then this is what I have to do. This is what our team has to do in order to make sure that happens. So for starters, your pages on your website, the ones that talk about your services. So let's use home care as an example. That's the easiest one for me. So your page on companion care, your page on, let's say you're a home health agency, in-home physical therapy, your page on personal care, your page on hospice supportive care, discharge from hospital to home care. I could go on and on. Everybody has 24-hour home care, private duty home care, whatever pages you have or whatever services you provide. What I typically see is that our clients come to us with a bulleted list. So companion care says light housekeeping, light meal preparation, light laundry, errands, accompanied MD appointments, pick up prescriptions, whatever. It's the same bulleted list for everybody. We all know in this industry what companion care means. And then for personal care, it's bathing, dressing, feeding, transferring, grooming. We all know what those are. And I see a bulleted list. Those 2 bulleted lists, or a paragraph that's this big that describes your services, no matter how amazing you are, if this is all your website has, you will never, ever rank well for that keyword phrase. Never, never. So if you want to beat visiting angels, if you want to beat the big boys and, you know, comfort keepers and the big franchisors that tend to be the right at homes of the world, that tend to be right on that homepage every single, or right on that first page of Google every single time in your area, you have to play like the big boys. So you need long form content fully written out that describes all the questions that people have about everything. And nobody wants to do that. You don't want to do it, but guess who's going to do it? This girl right here and her team. We write those pages out completely. And that is why our clients rank really fast. That's one reason. That's not the whole secret sauce. We also put 2 long form blog posts to get our clients started on their website. And those are usually guides to hospice care, a guide to discharge from hospital to home care, or transition, or whatever it is that's important to you. We pick those topics and we write some long form guides and we put them on your website, your new website, as a blog post. And when we do that, those rank just like this. I mean, it's crazy. We're talking 1,000 to 2,000 words a piece. They are really, really long. And then there's something called advanced schema. And this is super nerdy and nobody's going to get it. But most of your web developers are using something, if they're building a WordPress website, they're going to use something called Yoast or all-in-one SEO to search engine optimize your website. And those plugins will provide some level of schema code behind the scenes. Schema code is what Google sees. You see pretty. Google sees machine generated content on the back end that is all coded and has certain meanings and little terms and stuff and all this crazy stuff that you and I never see unless we're nerdy like me. And then I see it and I'm like, ooh. So most of you have those plugins on your website, and that's great. That's helpful, but it's only this much helpful. What we do is we write this much schema code, like 20 pages of schema sometimes. And that schema code is what sets you apart from everybody else online. That schema code and your long form search engine optimized service pages and your blog posts that we put on there, those things are what sets you apart and beats your competition. So you may not rank on number 1 on the first page of Google the day your website goes live, but let me tell you, when you see what I'm about to show you, you will know that this works. And then monthly, you can't stop. You can't just put those pages up and then do nothing. You have to keep going. So let's say you serve St. Louis, Missouri, but you really, really want to show up in Chesterfield, Missouri, because Chesterfield is a wealthy community. You know those people have money and you really want to show up there. So adding what we call location pages, which have a very specific design. They're not just throwing up a little content on a page and saying, home care Chesterfield. No, it's a long form content page with schema code behind it. If you do 2 of those per month, you will end up ranking in every little community that you continuously add location pages for. And there's other things that you can do to help with that, like press release distribution. Having a video for each of those location pages, a short video that describes the services. Google loves that stuff. And when you use their platforms like YouTube, Google My Business, they reward you. So these are the things that you should be doing to beat the big boys, to get to the first page of Google. So that's what enhanced SEO is now. And then having a keyword plan. We have a keyword plan that works. We take all of your local towns and service areas, or we ask you for your top 10, which I know is hard. Some of you serve hundreds of little towns. But we ask you for your top 10 areas, mainly towns. Counties are not how people search for care. They do not search by county. I know you think they do, but they don't. They search by zip code because mama lives in little town, blah, blah. She's not searching for this giant 200-mile across county. She's searching for home care near her little town. So towns, local towns, and then well-researched senior care keywords. For some of you, you're going to think that's immediately home care. It is, but there are so many other keyword phrases that I bet you don't know are searched by the thousands every month. And that has changed over the years. So know what your keywords are. And if you combine these two and you write that good long form content, you're going to have great SEO. All right, case studies. I'm going to fly through this because we don't have a whole lot of time. Let me see what time it is. Ooh, okay, I'm flying. All right, I'm going to give you some short looks at what happens. Remember, if you have questions, please put them in the question Q&A section now so that we can fly through those questions and get your questions answered, okay? This is keyword ranking. So I'm going to explain this one to you, and then I'm just going to fly through the rest. These are all keyword phrases over here. This isn't the entire list. This is just a small snapshot in time. This is actually run today. So this is not 2 months ago. This is not a month ago. This is today. This client is, when you see 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, this is the number they are on the first page of Google. So they're number 1 on the first page of Google, number 2 on the first page of Google, number 2 on the first page of Google, number 3, all the way down to 10, like 10, there are 10 spots on the first page of Google. And after 10, number 11 would be the top of the second page of Google. So this is a client in St. Louis, Missouri. They have been live for 48 hours or less. This website has existed for many years prior to us taking it over and redoing the entire thing. They were mainly ranked for 1 or 2 towns. We ran this report before their new website went live. Their new website went live, and this rank report came out, and boom, here they are. So you see all these little news where it says new, 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 new. This is probably our most recent site that went live. They are already first page of Google with those news. That means they didn't rank there before. I've been watching their rank for a week or more. They didn't rank for these keyword phrases. They do today. All right, so that is what this stuff that I just talked to you about does for your website. Number 2, Bloomington, Minnesota. We have had this live for 4 months. So this is to show you that this isn't a fluke thing. This isn't something that's going to go away after a few weeks. Nope, this website has been live for a few months. It was a website that existed for many years, but it was old and tired, and it needed a facelift, and it needed a technology lift. And we did that, and it did not rank prior to going live with us. Now it ranks for almost every little community that this client would like to rank in. This is a client that's been with us for a long time, and his website's been live for many years, but he needed an upgrade. He needed a facelift. He needed some town pages and some community pages. We did that, and bam, he is ranking for almost every little town around him in Spokane. So that's awesome. This website's been live with us for 3 or 4 months. It did exist prior to us taking it over and redoing it. They not only rank for Danbury, Connecticut, sorry, I'm totally butchering that, but Brookline, Massachusetts is 3.5 hours away, and they just happen to really like Brookline, and they have some live-in caregivers there. They are number 1 for live-in care in Brookline, Massachusetts because of what we did to their website. Danbury and New Milford and places around them, but also you can see here a lot of stuff for Brookline, Massachusetts. So if someone's looking for live-in care in Brookline, they're going to see our client first. New York City, this is interesting. This website never existed. This URL was just purchased. This website did not exist before we made it live. I think it's been live for a month, upgraded with some town pages in the last 2 weeks. This is the most competitive market in the entire world. This is Manhattan, New York City, Westchester County. Now, these folks want to rank for a very specific keyword phrase, so we gave it to them. They are number 1 for remote patient monitoring and virtual caregiving throughout all of New York. And that's what they wanted. That's what they got. Now, are they ranking for other keyword phrases? Yes. But these are the ones that they specifically wanted to focus on, so we made it happen. Alexandria, Virginia. You all know Northern Virginia is a very competitive market. This website, I don't believe existed, or if it did, it wasn't very old. It was kind of like a Wix or something like that. It's been live with us for 3 months or maybe more. I think it may have been live for just a little bit, but maybe not, I don't remember. Anyway, beep, #1, first page of Google for all the keyword phrases that she wants for the towns that she wants. And there you go. Akron, Ohio and surrounding counties, it's been live for 60 days. It did exist. This website did exist before us. We came in, we revamped it, we redid it. It did not rank before, and there you go. All the little towns around Akron, all the little towns, and Akron, Ohio, and it goes on and on. Anywhere he wanted to rank, he's doing really well. The Phoenix area, this website has existed for a long time. We just upgraded it 30 days ago. They were not on the first page of Google for any of these keyword phrases, and now they are. Middleborough, Massachusetts. This website existed before. It ranked for some, but not all, and now it's live less than 30 days, and it ranks for pretty much everything she wants. Is there work to be done on these websites? Is there time that it needs to take? This stuff happens pretty quickly, but it still takes somewhere around 6 months to get all the keyword phrases that you're really interested in. This is Fresno, California. This website had been live for a long time. We did some upgrades to it. It was in our care, and we made some big changes to it. We redid the website, and the ranking is 100% better than it was. And she's ranking for towns all around her, not just Fresno. I couldn't find her anywhere, maybe 1 or 2 keyword phrases, and now she's all over the place. Central New Jersey, this is a long-standing website. This is a 30-year-old home care agency. We rebuilt their website completely. Yes, their website existed. Yes, they already ranked for a lot of keyword phrases, but they really wanted to own certain towns. And now they're getting to the point where they own those towns. They actually own the entire state of New Jersey for a certain keyword phrase. I'm not going to tell you what that is. And they just still today own that entire state of New Jersey for a certain keyword phrase. I don't, just as a caveat, I don't think ranking for an entire state is what you need, but it is important to them that they kept that, and that is something that's it's been important to them for many years, so we kept that rank, and I'm really happy to say they still today own it. Okay, this is Central New Jersey, again, very competitive market, brand new website. This is in home health care, and this is physical therapy, occupational therapy, in-home therapy services of all kinds. Never existed before. It's been for live for about 45 days, and there you go. They're ranking on there. Not every keyword phrase, again, 6 months to get all your keyword phrases to do something. This is the Chicago suburbs, very competitive market. Again, long-standing website, just needed a refresh. We completely rebuilt it. We added some town pages, and now they're ranking for their local towns. This is a home health care agency, 7 counties in Michigan, long-standing website, completely rebuilt it, and they're moving up the ladder. They're playing the Google dance right now. They've only been live for 2 weeks, so they are ranking nicely, but you can see that they're still playing the Google dance a little bit. Brand new website. This one's been live less than 1 week. It never existed before at all. They already rank on the first page of Google for a few keyword phrases, but this is a reality usually at the 1 week mark, even sometimes at the 5 week mark, but it does fix itself over time. They are growing fast. They are going to see the first page of Google for most of these keyword phrases in the next 2 to 3 months. And so I just want to show you what it looks like. This is less than 1 week, a brand new website that's never been live ever. All right, so that is my little case study thing. I hope that helps some people. If you have a question, if you could put it in the Q&A, that would be awesome. And if you hear dogs or kids, the kids just got home from school, sorry. Okay, so local content strategy. I've talked about this already. You need to be the expert, the community resource. You need to have blog posting happen. Short blog posts are great, but those long form blog posts that you can add to your website really help boost your ranking. It's not going to work if your website is super slow. If your website is chugging along and taking 11 seconds to load, I don't care what kind of content you add to your website, it's not going to help. You have to have all these things working together. So blog posting at least 2 to 4 times per month. It should be unique content, not copied off of someone else. And you should have some keywords that you're working toward when you do that. Oops. All right. Facebook management. Yes, Facebook is important. Facebook and LinkedIn are your two top senior care social media platforms. I know everybody loves TikTok and they love Instagram and Twitter, and they think that you got to be everywhere. No, you don't. Your target market actually might be on TikTok. I mean, that is weird, but there's some good stuff on there. There's some stupid stuff on there, but there's some good stuff on there. Anyway, I don't think your target market's really there yet, but I'm addicted to TikTok. It's weird. Okay, so Facebook, branded images. Do you see these images? They all have things in common. They're all different companies, but they all have the website address, the phone number, and the logo of the person. And the text that's on these little branded images are from their website. We don't make stuff up. We have these images created for our clients. You can do it too. You can go to Canva or PicMonkey, and you can make your own branded images and put them up every single day. I recommend 5 days a week. I also recommend having videos on Facebook at least twice a month. Monthly newsletter. Some of you are like, oh, but I'm telling you, I promise you this. If you have a monthly newsletter in your CRM, whatever CRM you use, this is what we do for our clients, and you have a contact list and a referral list and caregivers and whatever you got, and you send that newsletter out every month to those people, you will increase your revenue. I know you think that no one reads them, but they really, really do. And it's really important that you make this happen. They don't have to be crazy, but they need to be pretty. So you can just see kind of the tops of some of our newsletters that go out. Calls to action, a phone number, a email address, a website link, the basic stuff that needs to be there, but also honoring your caregivers at the very top. There's a caregiver. Having educational content. This is all blog post stuff. This came from their websites. We blog posted and then we put it in their newsletter once a month. And if they submit that content to us about Caregiver of the Month, absolutely we put that in their newsletter. Top, front and center. All right, this is our website. And I just wanted to kind of let you guys know that you can all do this. ApprovedSeniorNetwork.com is it's a website. You can go put your listing on it for free. You do not have to ask for permission. You go there, you go to Approved Senior Network. It says, look, home care agencies or something. It says providers get listed today at the top of the homepage. Just go there and fill out the form. And you'll find that your listing's up in a few days. So yes, you can have a listing. It's going to be a free listing unless you're our client. If you're a client, it's an expert listing, you're highlighted and all this other stuff. But anybody can have a free listing there. And people do get leads off this website. I'm not going to say it's going to compare with care.com, caring.com, or any of those, and you're not paying for leads. But this is a great opportunity for you to get more visibility. So please go put your free listing on ApprovedSeniorNetwork.com. Google My Business. I cannot stress to you enough. I've already said this. This is so important for you. You need to know what your Google My Business listing is. You need to get it taken care of. You need to make sure it has pictures, images, posts. We post to our clients Google My Business listings between 2 and 5 days a week, depending on the program they're in. They are always getting fresh new content on their Google My Business listing. It is so important that you take care of this, that you log into it, that you pay attention to it. It can mean a ton more revenue if you take care of it. We take care of, I don't know, probably 80 Google My Business listings for our clients right now. And they see a definite difference, especially when their website and their Google My Business listing work together. I'm not going to go into all that works together with that because it's too time consuming, but we do have a free Google My Business listing optimization checklist here. If you go to our website, you can download it. Just go to Google My Business under services and you'll be able to see that checklist is there. If you can't find it, email us or whatever, fill out our contact us form and we'll help you. But these are the basics. This is just the basic stuff you should be doing for your Google My Business listing. And there's a lot of more secret sauce that goes behind this, things that you can do that make Google so happy. Do it. Paid ads. If you love paid advertising or you're thinking about getting into it, I'm going to recommend that you go with somebody who understands the home care, senior care market and can give you some accurate information about Google Ads. We're happy to share that with you. We're happy to do it for you. We can tell you from years of experience what other people are, what's happening with other people who are running Google Ads. Your budget probably needs to be at a minimum $600 a month ad spend on Google Ads. I would say before you go this direction, make sure you have your website up to date and that everything is in working order organically, meaning the not paid stuff, the pages, the SEO, all that's in order. Once that's in order, if you still want to supplement with Google Ads, or if you just want to buy leads, whatever, that's fine. But organic comes first. Your website always comes first. This is an example of a landing page that we would use. Most websites are not designed to take leads the right way. I know that sounds weird, but your website is, especially if it's slow loading or it's got other problems, we're not going to send traffic to your website. We're going to send it to a landing page that's fast loading and pretty. If you do have a great website that we can manage and we can send traffic to it, we will. But 9 times out of 10, when people come to us, they don't have their website act together. So we run it to a landing page. This is a sample lead form from a paid ad, from a Google ad. It answers the following questions. It tells you the potential lead's name, their postal code, who needs care, how old is the person who needs care, how many hours a week they need care, type of care, how do you plan on paying for care, and then all of their contact information, how would they like to be reached, best time to reach, and consent. This is the lead form that will go to the person who's responsible for contacting leads in your organization. So that's just an example of what we do. Other organizations do other things, and that's totally okay. Recruiting. Love recruiting. Don't you? Oh, by the way, be sure to put your questions in the Q&A section. Commercial time. Yes, we do have a recruiting program. It works really well. It is, it starts out as a automation program. Let me see what the next slide is. It might. Okay, so this is a little bit better. So we run ads for you, or you can run them yourself. We don't care. Candidate answers the ad. Candidate answers a few qualifying questions. This is a lot like Hirology, but it is not as expensive as Hirology. It is not designed for executive level recruiting like Hirology is. It is designed for CNAs, HHA recruiting, for RNs, LPNs, for people in the field. It is designed for that kind of recruiting. This is designed for home care recruiting. So the candidate answers the ad, they answer a few qualifying questions, and our system in our program will communicate via text and email. Most folks are on their phones 24/7, so text and email is how they're going to answer. We have the candidates self-schedule their interview time. They can set it for it's up to you. We customize the recruiting program based on your needs, but this is the basic stuff. They set up their own interview time and they book that appointment with you, and you can fast track their path to employment. And we work with you and consult with you and help you design this program and make changes to it as you go to best meet your needs for recruiting. But it is very automated on the front end, and it takes the burden off of the front end of the management. This is a long conversation, but you get a branded recruiting center, a branded landing page. This is, if you've ever looked at Hirology or any of the other ones that exist out there, this is a lot like that. You have pages like About Us, open positions, information form, a self-scheduling center, a full application is optional, and a document upload center is optional. There are some things that cost extra, but for the most part, people that have left Hirology and have come to us have liked this a lot. So if you're interested in having a more automated way to recruit, to take some of the pressure off your recruiting staff on following up with people endlessly, let us know and we can help you with that. This is kind of what it looks like. Candidates enter the funnel at the top. They can come from anywhere: Facebook, Indeed, ZipRecruiter, MyCNA Jobs, Craigslist, wherever. They go into this funnel. They are communicated with after they fill out an information form. they're interviewed, and then if they're hired, you decide what happens next. Less wasted time, better results, no more chasing candidates. We chase them to get them to take the actions you want them to take. And if they don't do it, it's a numbers game, move on to the next person. That's how we go through this. And then it really is a numbers game. And I'm sure you all know that by now. All right, so we're back to the beginning. Content, paid ads, recruiting, Google My Business, and staying organized with a CRM. Your website is in the middle of all this. Your website is so important. It's the best investment and the biggest investment you can make to get more leads, more clients every single day. This is definitely should be one of the top priorities besides your staff, besides your mission, your vision, your values. Your website needs to be the best performing piece of machinery in your toolkit. All right, questions. I'm going to go to the questions area. Be sure to type your questions in. And we'll start down the list here. Okay, Devin, is this beneficial for skilled care? Absolutely. I can't tell you how many home health care websites, skilled care websites we've done. In fact, in those case studies, 2 or 3 of them were home health care websites. Absolutely. Please email presentation slides. We don't share our slides, but I will send out the replay to everybody. How can you help my business one-on-one? Well, you know, I don't know. It depends on what kind of help you need. But you can always email Bob at Approved Senior Network or fill out our form or give us a call. Go to asnmarketingplan.com, fill out a contact us form, or give us a call and we will find out what you need and how we can help you if we can help you. Which host did you switch your clients to? We switched everybody over to Flywheel, which was purchased by WP Engine, and it is super fast. Can we use the blog posts in the local newspaper? Absolutely. If we blog post for you, you can use those blog posts wherever you want. They belong to you and they're in your name. So they're all yours. We have 5 writers that write for us. Most of them have been with us for several years, and they write unique content for every single person every single week. We do not duplicate content. How do you run the local report that shows the Google page listings? Oh, well, I have some software that runs that, and you can find that software online. You can run a rank report on anybody. So we just have software that runs those reports for us. Does anybody else have any questions? I see something in chat. Let me see. Valerie, do you talk off here? Thank you. Okay, yeah, absolutely. If you have questions for me now, now's the time to enter them into the Q&A, and I will answer any questions that you have. But everything I just talked about on this call, on this webinar, is exactly what you need to make your home care agency foolproof. If you have an excellent online presence and you invest your time and energy into making that happen, and your money, and you know what? It's not so much your time and energy. It is a little bit of time and energy because you know you have other things to do. I get it. You wear a million hats. But that investment and having a good team behind you that can take care of all this stuff, there's no way to replace that. It's amazing. How do applicants flow into your system? Is it automated or do we have to manually add? There are 2 or 3 ways that people can come into the recruiting system. Some come in automatically from ads. They just go straight from like a Facebook ad right into the system. And other times we have folks that are running a lot in Indeed, and they really want us to take the stuff from Indeed like at night and then just, you know, import everybody into the CRM, and we can do that. So we can help with getting people in, or you can enter them in. You can import them in bulk. You don't have to do it one at a time. So there's lots of ways to get people into the system. We do it as automated as humanly possible. And then we can also help if you want us to log into your accounts and grab all of your new people and put them into the system for you. We will absolutely do that. Does anybody have any more questions about long form blog posting or content or leads or paid advertising or recruiting or anything like that? We are 5 minutes over. One more question. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Oh, here's a few more questions. Look at this. Okay. Do you work with more than one agency in the same area? Yes, we do. It depends on the area. In Houston, yes, we have 2 or 3 clients. We try not to oversaturate it because we understand that you all have the same working territories in some cases, but we don't limit ourselves too much because that would, I don't know. It's really, I can say this, for all the clients we have in one local area, the clients that put the most time and energy into working with us, and it's not a lot, we're not asking a lot, trust me, get the most bang for their buck. They get more out of it when they're paying attention. The clients that never communicate with us and don't pay attention, we do our job and we do a great job, but without their input and their interaction with us, we want to be part of that marketing team. Then they may not get as much out of that. Have you ever worked on a corporate franchise site that doesn't allow the individual owners to make changes? No, we will not work on a corporate franchise site unless we are contracted by the franchisor to work on those sites. But typically, that is not going to happen. So we do not work on people's websites that we don't have an agreement to work on them from the franchisor. If you have that situation and you're not able to work on your own website, there are lots of other things that you can do that don't make your franchisor angry. We have been in this market long enough that we work with almost every franchise across the United States and some in Canada, and we know what to do and what not to do. I want to learn more about your recruiting platform, please. Yes, if you go to our website, ASN Marketing Plan, look under services, fill out a form, contact us. We'll be happy to help you. Leads, do you help agency? Yes, leads are important. Do you help agencies in New York? Of course. Any United States and Canada. I need assistance with leads for clients or referrals. Well, I just talked about all the different ways you can do that. And if you want our services, you're welcome to fill out our contact us form and we'll help you. What is the typical cost of working with you? That depends. It could be as low as $200 a month. Actually, it could be as low as $89 a month, all the way up to over $1,000 a month. It depends on who you are, where you're located, what services you want. So there's no way to accurately answer that question until you talk to us and tell us what's up with you and what you're looking for, what kinds of things you want, don't want, and then we can give you a very specific quote for services. I think that's everybody. Does anybody else have any more questions? Fill out our contact us form and we will happily just go to our website, asnmarketingplan.com. There is a contact us page, fill out the form, and we will happily talk to you. Also, there is a website SEO audit that's free if you do have a current website and you're not a franchise owner. There's no point in me doing SEO audits on franchises because I can't help you change it. So if you want a SEO report though, and you have an independent website and you want us to run some tests on it to see where it falls and what's going on with it, fast, slow, broken, not broken, yay, you rank everywhere, no, you don't rank anywhere. We will run that report for you and you get a little personalized video from me that shows you all the things we found or didn't find and how you can fix it. So if you want that, there's a button on this website that says free SEO audit. Click on that, fill out the form, and we'll get that done for you. All right. You can also email Bob at Approved Senior Network or call us at 888-404-1513. But I will tell you the best way to get a hold of us is to fill out a form on our website, asnmarketingplan.com. Dun, dun, dun. Thank you, everybody, so much. I appreciate you showing up for this webinar, and I appreciate all of you who are watching the replay. Thank you. I hope this helped tremendously. Please make a good investment in your online marketing, and you will see your home care agency or your senior care business thrive. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.